Minnesota Vikings season be saved by Mad Max Brosmer, who goes into the Thunderdome in Seattle to take on old pal Sam Darnold, who looks to show Minnesota they made a mistake in not signing him? It's the Vikings, it's the Seahawks, and here are the fellas to preview the game.
Oh, yes. You know, that song gets stuck in your head. The great late Tina Turner with her song from Mad Max, Beyond the Thunderdome, classic. Well, Mad Max will be quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings tomorrow at 4:05 Eastern Time, 3:05 Central Time, 1:05 our time. And the question to be asked is, are you excited for Max Brosmer's start tomorrow? And Mike Conrad, bring it on. Torrey Holt, no. Mark Balk, no, not really. So, but apparently the K-Fan crew with Paul Allen and Ben Lieber are very excited for Max Brosmer as he gets ready to sling the ball around in Seattle in the hopes of somehow creating some sort of excitement. Tony Bell joining us, top right-hand corner, Bill Dunkel, Sir Purple Encyclopedia, bottom right-hand corner, a lovely and talented quality control on the bottom left with all the pictures and the sounds. Just a quick reminder as well, if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to our podcast, same name on YouTube. We would love to see you guys support the page and also add content to our page. That's what we're about, and that's the big difference from us than other people. We enjoy other people creating stuff, so do create it. The question to ask Bill Dunkel, are you excited for Mad Max getting a start tomorrow?
No, because I'd rather have J.J. McCarthy back there. Because
Sure.
he needs to be back there.
Yeah.
But he's hurt. So, I mean, listen, I watched Max.
Third injury this year already. Third
injury.
injury, correct? This is the third injury he's had already?
I wish
technically third injury.
Or is this a mental break? Because really, honestly, Tony Bell, it can't get any worse than what we've seen with JJ over the last couple of weeks. He looks lost. This could be a convenient concussion. But honestly, for anyone that's out there that think that Max Brosmer is going to be able to have time to throw the football against the Seattle Seahawks defense, which is ranked 4th in the NFL, by the way, this is a huge task indeed, Tony. So what are you expecting out of Mad Max tomorrow?
I'm not expecting anything out of him.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. I'm not expecting anything out of him.
A bad spot for him to be in, honestly.
It's a terrible spot for him to be in. And guess what? It's not his fault. It's not J.J. McCarthy's fault. Its fault lies solely with the handling of the quarterback position this year by none other than your head coach.
Yeah. I mean, that's the big issue that we're having. Yeah.
It's that I'll tell you what. Anybody else would have did this. It's so egregious, especially with the Carson Wentz thing. He should have been fired.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's right. I said it. Be careful. Be careful that giraffeholics will come after you.
You know what? I am so sick of them KLC dick riders. Don't even get me started on them. Okay? Don't even get me. I'm done with it. It's like they make this guy. They got this guy on the pedestal with friggin' Bud Grant.
That's not even.
He couldn't. He's not even close to Bart. Obviously, he's not close to Bart. He's not even close to Denny. He's
Mike
not
Zimmer.
Even close to Burns.
He's never close to Mike Tice, and he was terrible.
Tice is better than this guy.
God.
At least you knew you were going to get good offensive line play with Mike Tice as your head coach.
Exactly. So. I mean, if you think about it, Mike Tice was Dan Campbell before Dan Campbell.
Yeah, he was pretty much.
And
but he had a better pencil.
And his
Mike Tice had the better pencil look.
It's got to be a tight end thing. That's all I can say.
Just a quick reminder that the game will be on NFL and Fox tomorrow. The great crew of Joe Davis, Greg Olson, along with Pam Oliver, will be your crew tomorrow. Cleet Blakeman will be your referee.
Cleet, our buddy.
Oh,
good old Cleet.
Oh,
he's throwing the flags around there in Seattle, probably for the home team. All right, some headlines. This one is courtesy of one Bill Dunkel. So I don't know if, Bill, you have anything else to expound on this, but apparently, as we saw Paul Allen, with the binoculars, we saw Ben Lieber with the Max Brosmer thing. Someone didn't make this trip who didn't make the trip, and he's a coaching member of the Minnesota Vikings.
Mike Pettin.
I heard that.
And nobody knows why.
I read that.
Why. Did he get fired, or we don't know?
He's the assistant head coach.
Well, I did hear he has medical issues. He's had them in the past, so I'm wondering if that's it.
So maybe being on an airplane, not part of what is allowed for his medical condition.
You know what's
With
funny?
all due respect to Mike, he needs to go.
With everything going on, I forgot Mike Pettin was even on the staff.
You know what? He's probably very happy with that, Tony. Let's not wreck it for him.
Right.
Let's move on from the story. We'll pretend, Mike, we didn't mention you as top of our headlines. Well,
but can I say one thing about that, though? One thing about that I think is key with that. That just goes to show what this year has been. Now you got a coach that's not even coming on the trip, for crying out loud. That's the way this whole year has been. Like a total. This is 2010 all over again.
We're going to mention 2010 in a little bit here, and inside the numbers, a little tease. But
with 2010, at least they got rid of the idiot that was in charge.
Yeah.
Well,
this one's going to get another year.
He's definitely getting one more year.
Yeah, that's
all right.
true.
On ESPN's First Take, Stephen A. Smith went on record as saying he wouldn't be surprised if Jettas decided to get up out of Minnesota, gentlemen. Your thoughts about Justin Jefferson at the end of this year? Is he going to be okay with everything, or is he going to rock the boat?
Okay, I'm just going to put it out there, and I'll be the first one to say it. Fuck Stephen A. Smith. That's all I got to say. Nobody cares about what he's got to say. He talks out of both sides of his mouth. He's a bigger idiot than anybody else on that friggin' channel. No, it's why nobody watches it. So
very rich, though. He's a very rich idiot. Very rich.
You can have all the money in the world and still be an idiot.
I don't know if he knows much about Vikings football, but this, I kind of think Jettas will ask. Depending on
here's the thing: if in order for Jettas to ask for a trade, which if he does, if you're the Vikings, depending on who the GM is, because we don't know, because it won't be Kwesi,
right?
And it may not be Grigson either. It may be somebody completely different.
Could be. Hopefully, a football guy.
I would ask for a boat. I would ask for a boatload of
at least 3 first-round picks. It didn't work when we traded Randy Moss, though, because that didn't work. So it's very dangerous when you trade a guy like this. But I listen. He has done nothing so far that tells me, other than being frustrated. The whole team's frustrated. It's quite obvious to see this. I think he's staying, but he's going to want to see what quarterback. If the Vikings do decide,
I'll tell you what. If they do decide to get rid of Jets, you keep Addison.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Your thoughts there, Bill Dunkel, on this?
Well, I mean, I thought it at the time. He had to have known, and he did know, because they kept in contact with him. He had to have known that if McCarthy was going to be the guy, and they didn't bring Fish Eyes in here, or Flacco, or anybody else, or Daniel Jones didn't stay, that he had to know there was going to be major growing pains. So he knew what he signed up for. And that's what made me more upset about his lack of effort on the interception a couple weeks ago. It was inexcusable.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. I don't think he's going to be traded now, but if things don't improve by the end of next year,
could be next year. I think it's be more if it goes.
No, they're wasting his prime. They're wasting his prime years.
Yeah, they are. They are. And again, this team might be more in a rebuild situation, anyways. And if that happens,
they are. But they won't.
They won't admit it to it, right, Tony Bell? What's the key word up there? What's the key word they use?
Competitive rebuild.
No such
thing.
Who
said it? And who said those words?
Mark Wilf.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kwesi had to say it in his press conference because Mark told him to say it.
And that's why Ryan Poles, one of the reasons he didn't get the job besides money.
Poles wanted to blow up the team.
Blow up you didn't want no competitive rebuild. And by the way, that meant no minivan, and they didn't like that either.
We'll be talking about the Chicago Bears a little later. A little tease coming up by one on this panel. We'll be breaking down the Bears for us. So, which if you watched, was kind of reminds you a little of a team that played way back in the mid-'80s, the way that they won. But we'll get into that in just a moment. Quick injury updates, guys. We already know J.J. McCarthy's out. Donovan Jackson, ankle injury, will not be playing tomorrow either. John Wolford's been called to be the backup officially to Max Brosmer.
Who?
John Wolford, backup.
Former Ram.
What happened to Desmond Ritter?
He's on the practice squad and probably.
They signed him to practice squad.
How bad was Sam Howell?
He could be starting, right?
We wasted draft capital for Sam Howell.
He started earlier in the year. Yeah, I that's the whole thing. Veteran quarterback, got to have one, and they went with Carson Wentz. So
then they should have signed Flacco.
Yeah. Also, quickly, guys, as we wrap up the purple headlines, former Vikings special teamer Chris Boyd, unfortunately, is back in the hospital. We all recall that he was shot outside of a Manhattan restaurant on November 16th. Got out of critical condition. Everyone was excited. Got back home, and now he's back in the hospital. So on behalf of everyone here on the official Purple Skull Squad show for Minnesota Viking fans, our prayers and thoughts to Chris Boyd and his family. We're going to do a really quick around the NFC North because 3 teams have already played. And right now you look at these standings, and yes, it is kind of shocking to see the Teddy Bears in first at 9-3. Packers with a big win in Detroit, 8-3-1. The shocking one out of this all is the Detroit Lions are 7-5, fighting for their playoff lives now. And then the Vikings bringing up the rear at 4.
Well, you also heard now, since we're doing those notes, Frank Ragnow failed his physical.
So he's not coming back.
He's not coming back.
So there is no help for the Lions at center position. This is something that, unfortunately for Lion fans, this is a tough road because the Lions schedule is brutal. It's one of the toughest in the NFL. Nothing really gets easy for them.
Yeah, I don't
think they're making it. That's a shock. That's a huge shock.
For as much of a moron I was to pick the Vikings, A, to win the division, B, to win the Super Bowl, I did say Detroit would not make the playoffs. So I might be 1 out of 2.
I thought there would be 3 teams from our division making the playoffs.
And there still might be. I mean, look, the way things could spread out, it still might happen. But I'll tell you right now, I hate to say this, but the hottest team in the National Football League is the team that plays in Dallas. The Cowboys in that offense is no joke.
Well,
and that NFC East is in play, the way that the Eagles look, how about them Cowboys?
Well,
could be on the move with an easy schedule down the stretch. They play us as well.
I think I hate to say it like this, but I think the death of that teammate, Marshall Nealand, has really
pumped the team up.
Them real close together.
Yeah, it's giving them something to strive to put them together. And Philly,
that is a weird situation, man.
Jalen Hurts, you can tell he's just he's lucky he's with Philly, and he's lucky he won a Super Bowl, or else they will be talking about him like they're talking about JJ McCarthy. I'm sorry. He just
so disinterested. There's something going on behind the scenes there in Philly. I don't know if it's AJ Brown.
It could be, it could be the whole AJ Brown thing.
Jalen Hurts, it's just an ugly locker room.
It could be Sirianni. I mean,
Saquon Barkley is like a shell of himself. That has a lot to do with the offensive line. Lane Johnson's out. That offensive line hasn't really been the same as it was last year when Barkley.
Do they miss Jason Kelce?
They miss Jason Kelce. They do miss Jason Kelce a little bit too, no doubt.
Well,
Lane Johnson, that injury, that's probably the bigger.
That's a big one, yeah. That's just.
And he's such a dynamic player, and then losing Becton, so that offensive line is taking its shot. Mike Conrad, Rams are the team, probably the team to beat in the NFC.
When the Eagles lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl the next year, remember they started out great, went in the tank. It's almost the same repeat.
It's kind of the same feel, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of the same feel with this team. So it'll be interesting to see if Philly can kind of get it back together because Dallas is red hot right now, and that offense is cooking. George Pickens.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We got to go there too.
Yeah, that could be a brutal.
Oh, can I ask you a question? What does everybody think of George Pickens? I actually liked it. I wanted him on.
You know who he reminds me of? He's not quite there, but he reminds me of Randy Moss. His athleticism. Once he gets to the corner and has you one-on-one, it's over. It's like just get the ball near him, and it's over. And did you see? I mean, just jumping over the way that he did. I mean, the athleticism it's ridiculous.
I love that kid.
And just to think about that game in itself, Tony Bell and Bill Dunkel, I start with you, Tony. Is this the end of the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty, so to speak?
It was the end after they lost the Super Bowl.
You just felt like the whole thing deflated, right? But you still have belief in Patrick Mahomes. Like, he can still do
But you know what now? He's gotten older. He looks human.
Does.
Nobody's ever beat Father Time. And that Father Time is still unbeaten.
There's bickering in that locker room for the first time in a long time. So I think I think human nature at some point, just like it happened in New England with Belichick and Brady, they got sick of each other. I think there's stuff going on with Kansas City. I think they need a reset.
Could be. And they're getting older. I mean, as great as Travis Kelce has been, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the great tight ends. He's having actually a better year than he did last year. He's not the issue. But it's just all those injuries to the receivers early in the year, the defense.
Well, look at Chris Jones. Chris Jones is not making plays like
not making plays. And if he's not getting there, that doesn't help out Steve Spagnuolo.
Well, he's older now. I mean, he's
older.
You know, and
he got his coin, Tony. He got his coin. When you get all that money,
how many times have I said when these guys get paid, they take the foot off the gas.
All right, let's go to our player focus. It's time to talk about Mad Max, who's entering the Seattle Thunderdome. This is our OPSSS player focus. 6'2", 220, 24 years of age, from Davenport, Iowa, by way of UMass and Minnesota College. Gentlemen.
He don't look 6'2", 220.
He looks very thin, especially in this picture. He looks maybe 185. I hope Max has got some feet. He's really good at negotiating the pocket, because that fourth-ranked Seahawks defense is going to be basically stacking the line. This is my guess. Tony, I start with you on this. They're going to be stacking the line on Max. You say, go ahead, try to pass it in the beginning, because we're coming. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. Our old friend Leslie Frazier and the Mike McDonald. Yes, Mike McDonald, that Mike McDonald, not the one from the Doobie Brothers. Mike McDonald, the head coach. They're going to have some game planning for Max, and this will be a true test of his courage, Tony, on Sunday.
Only kind of thing he's got going for him is he played the same type of offense with the Gophers that's with the Vikings. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be close. I don't think he's going to have a good day. I think he's going to have growing pains. And unfortunately, you've got a head coach who will not put together a game plan to put together what works best for him.
No, he'll probably have him throw 20, 25-yard outs, right, Bill Dunkel? Out wide. Yeah. 5-6 step drop back.
The long developing play.
Of course.
And by the way, can I say something? I would recommend for all the people that are just bashing J.J. McCarthy
horribly
and simply making him solely responsible. Bring up Kurt Warner's video where he spent, I think, close to an hour going over
fascinating stuff. Stuff.
He is not a fan of Giraffe's type of offense at all.
Called Kevin O'Connell out in the video.
The only reason Kevin O'Connell took this gig, and I keep telling people this, is because he got to call plays.
Yeah.
Why do you think they already hired a bunch? Why do you think the team hired a bunch of coaches before they hired him?
Very interesting how that all kind of transpired, you know.
So
it's quite obvious, Tony, he's not ready for this role yet. He still has to learn to be an offensive coordinator.
Everything points to there's a reason, and I've said this before, there's a reason he never put together a game plan, and there's a reason he never called plays with all the other teams he was with.
It might be Kevin O'Connell 4 or 5 years from now and a second team as a head coach or whatever after being an offensive coordinator. the light bulb might go up that you have to be physical, that you got to run the ball.
Why the hell would you hire him after this?
That's an interesting question.
Well,
Someone will because of the 13-4.
Here's the funny part now.
14-2 season. Someone would if the Vikings did.
How long was his extension?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay,
4 years.
So
right?
say he gets let go next year. He's still got 2 years left. He'll sit on the sideline and still get a check.
Yeah, I mean it's not so painful when you're making as much money as he is. You know, it's painful for us having to watch it.
I honestly think he'd get a job in a snap of a finger only because
he will
build that reputation, and some owner will say, "I need my franchise to get going, regenerate. We got to get that energy back." And yeah, he could.
And what the? Okay, so if you have a team and
I wouldn't hire him.
Let's keep in mind. There's a lot of people running football teams that don't know anything about football. That's number one.
I'm going to say this, guys. I'm
going
to go out on a limb. Jameis Winston will be wearing purple next year. He will set Vikings throwing records for interceptions and touchdowns and yardage. That'll be the most exciting thing. Yes.
Well, just because you said that, how much you want to bet we end up with Justin Fields?
Exciting to see Jameis Winston play. But just throwing that out there, that's the kind of guy like Kevin O'Connell wants. He wants a reclamation project, which he isn't because Jameis Winston's already a proven commodity. Let's not forget that. He's already proven himself
a long
time in the NFL.
Now that you've said that, Eric,
yeah,
he had his reclamation project when he drafted JJ.
Well, that's right, Tony Bell. That's where I was going. So what these Vikings should do is cut JJ McCarthy. End of the year, cut him. Sign him the next day. Just say, JJ, we're going to cut you. Okay, but now we're going to sign you. You're a reclamation project. And then all of a sudden, he'll throw for 40,000 yards, or for 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, 10. We saw.
You know what? You do that, and within 5 minutes, the news gets out. Guess who's calling him up?
I know. On the phone from Los Angeles. Hey, this is Jim Harbaugh. I was just JJ McCarthy. I'd like to sign you immediately. Without question. Or John Harbaugh would try to beat his brother to JJ.
Now, do you think John has a job at the end of the year?
That's another team. Another team that's right on that borderline.
By the way, guys, we saw two teams this weekend that the Vikings lost to in Baltimore and Philadelphia. And they look like trash.
They pretty much do.
They look like trash.
Doesn't make you feel any better about those losses, does it? Makes you even feel worse.
I'm like, what the hell? You can't do not sit up there and blame JJ McCarthy.
No.
Because guess what? It was Carson Wentz that played Philly with a bad arm, but it was KOC calling the plays.
Exactly, Tony Bell. That's the key to that whole thing. It's the coach. It's the front office not hitting their draft picks properly. There's a whole bunch of things we'll elaborate a little more on in just a moment, but it is time now for Tony Bell's X's and O's. And this is an interesting one because it's not Vikings related, but it is related to the game that we watched on Black Friday between the Bears and the Eagles, a game that Chicago won 24-15. Tony, take it away.
Okay, this is the reason why Ben Johnson is a much better play caller and offensive coordinator than Kevin O'Connell will ever be. Yesterday's game, Ben Johnson sees that his franchise quarterback, Caleb Williams, is struggling. He's struggling big time. He didn't put him out there to fail. He didn't keep him throwing the ball where bad things could happen. What did he do? He went back to old school football. He ran the ball. Not only did he get one running back to get 100 yards, he had two running backs get 100 yards on a very good Eagles defense. They had 281 yards as a team running the ball. That's almost 300 yards on the ground. The Vikings can barely get 81. Why? Because KLC, even though he has the dynamics to run the ball,
even got 281 yards this year. I don't know. It's close.
Refuses to run the ball and help his young quarterback out. It's not. I've told people this before. It's not rocket science. It's just straight ahead football.
You know what helps too, Tony, though, is that offensive line, man. That Bears offensive line, they went out in free agency and got the right guys.
You know what, though? Here's
Yeah.
a problem. Here's the thing, though. This Viking offensive line, we don't really know how it is running the ball because guess what? They never run the ball.
Yeah.
We know how bad they are in pass protection, but you're an offensive lineman. Your best moving forward, 300 pounds going backwards is not a good thing.
Mm-mm.
So when you've got an offensive coordinator who is supposed to be this guru, this genius, this offensive whatever, the savant, but he's lopsided with play calling and he will not run the ball. Will not run the ball.
Whisper.
Yeah, somebody should yell in his ear to wake the hell up.
No, it was impressive. In fact, Tony, just to add to that, do you realize that's the first time that the Chicago Bears have done that since they had Walter Payton and Matt Suey back in the 84-85 season? And what did the Chicago Bears do that year?
Well, they went to Super Bowl in 85.
Uh-huh.
They won it.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, it's not right.
They did this. I'm just saying. I like a crystal ball.
That's what a good coach will do. And unfortunately, we don't have a good coach. We've got a coach.
Know how to adapt to his talent. Ben Johnson adapted to the conditions because that was not a pretty place to play football in Philadelphia. That was windy. You had to know. And Ben Johnson said it going into the half. He said, hey, we just got to know where we are on the field, what side of the field we're on, and we'll plan accordingly. And that's exactly what they did because both quarterbacks were having a heck of a time trying. In fact, Jalen Hurts threw a pass that went up in the air. I thought it was deflected. I'm like, oh, my God, that's one of the worst passes I've seen. That just came up. His hand went up, wobbled, and went right down to the ground. Right down. By the way,
do you know that Noshawn Wright has more turnovers than the Viking defense?
Well, wouldn't it be nice to have Noshawn Wright in our secondary with his 5 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries?
Okay.
Good coaching.
You know who's responsible partly for getting rid of him is the defensive coordinator. If anybody's that naive not to think that he didn't have a major say in that, then boy, you are smoking some wacky tobacco.
He got rid of Wright. He got rid of Wright for Okuda.
I'm sorry, Tony. That is a fireable offense. That is a fireable offense, and there's no way.
You know why it is? Because that's what he looks for.
Size
in a quarterback, length.
Yeah, but you got to cover, Bill, and you got to tackle.
No. I'm talking about Wright. That's why they wanted him for Booth, and then you let him go for what Okuda just because I think it was because he was a top 10 pick, and he could get that career back going. But why fiddle when you had somebody here in the building that really was never given a chance, and that's more. No. I tell you, that's a big thing on Florida. I keep on saying this. I've said because I've heard things and I've read things. This is his big drawback, everyone. Yeah. He does not like playing young guys unless he's.
Neither one of them do.
Neither one of them do.
No.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But we're talking about Florida. That's why I think those two are a match made in heaven. Personally.
Yeah, they like veterans. They do like the veterans.
He is the quarterback and not quarterback. He's the head coach of the defense. Giraffe doesn't care about that defense. He lets it go to him. He's responsible for that defense, for getting them up for the game, for scheming, for everything. Yeah. And you know what somebody said? And I read it, and I finally go, my God, somebody finally agrees with me. They said, when is it? I think they said this to Judd. When is it? Okay, can somebody finally get off that good old Brian Flores is not Jesus Christ? I mean, my God, what are we doing? Nobody can... He said, it seems like nobody can criticize that guy and you can get blasted. Again, he's good. He's not that good.
Yeah.
Well, I think we think he's good because of what we had before, which was horrible.
Well,
I'm better. You know what? I've called better games on Madden than Donatel did. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
The ultimate sea turtle.
Oh, my God.
That turtle defense. You can just get all the way down to the 10
Can I make a prediction?
And then hopefully he's going to stop you.
I'm going to make a prediction. A touchdown or a field goal in Seattle's first series of the game, which will.
Oh, that's got to be heavy money, Bill. That's probably you got to probably put $1.50 to make $1 on that because so far this year that's happened. I think 7
It'll
out
be,
of
you know what it'll be? It'll be the TD pass in the gym.
You know, and listen, I like Brian, but I think what it is with me is people constantly making excuses for him. Those same people, I'm going to say this, the same people that make excuses for him will not make the excuses for the coach. And I think and believe in consistency. I'm ripping that coach more than I probably rip Brian, but I'm going to rip them both because neither one.
Can I answer Ted's question?
Yeah, Ted Camacho, he's puts a lot of stuff up on the page. Thank you for doing so, Ted. Thank you for watching. But go ahead, Tony, respond, because he's basically saying that we're attacking the head coaches when, you know what, they've got a tough job. And
you know what? They're the paid professionals, and they're the paid professionals. They're supposed to be top of the line at it. But guess what? I played better ball and coached better ball when I was in semi-pro.
Well, just to answer this, though, Ted, here's the problem.
I mean, my God.
Right. Here's the problem we have, Ted. It's not so much Kevin O'Connell necessarily, as the coach or Flores.
When can you ever question anybody?
No, but that's Bill. I'm going to get to that. But the media in Minnesota never questions.
Thank you.
The coaching. Never.
They won't be, and they won't be.
Shows like ours, podcasts, some radio shows that aren't sponsored by the Vikings have to say something.
I'm out. I got to say it, and Tony knows what I'm talking about because we live in this. I don't know if Ted lives in Minnesota. It's that
Ted's
type
in Iowa, by the way. Ted's in Iowa.
That type of thinking. This is just me. It's mediocrity thinking.
It's a point. Ted.
But the coach is the CEO.
Yeah, I get it. He's got a point, though. Kevin O'Connell's in there. He's calling plays. Not every one of the plays that he's calling are bad plays. Sometimes the players are not performing it right either.
Here's the thing with O'Connell, though. Look at his track. Outside of Minnesota, he has never put together a play calling of any type.
Why did we lose?
Any type.
Okay. And here's the other issue. Here's the other issue, Bill, and then please finish your thought.
Yeah. Oh, God,
the Vikings are fourth in pass running ratio. I can sit on my couch all I want and tell you that that's losing football. That is losing football. The Eagles proved it. Even those high-powered New England Patriot teams, right, should have signed Harbaugh. Yeah, Mark. No,
exactly, Mark. Exactly.
When you have a football team, it is asinine to ask a rookie quarterback. I don't care how good he is. Drake May struggled last year. Go look at the stats. Okay? To do 5-6 step dropbacks and negotiate the field like he's a 5 or 10 year veteran. Asinine. And guess what? The other three teams that are on that list, that ratio over 60% passing to running, all those teams are not in the playoffs right now. None of them. Tennessee, Cincinnati, Minnesota, not going to make the playoffs because of that asinine passing to running ratio. If you put your young quarterback, in that situation, it's asinine. Bill, finish it.
All I'm going to say is this, and you guys know, because we've talked about this ad nauseum since he's became coach. We didn't know it at the time. I think Tony, I'll say this. I mean, I'm going to quickly say this. When we needed a new coach, Vikings were looking for a new coach. My top two of the old guys, that were Harbaugh 1, Doug Peterson 2. The young guys, D'Amico Ryans 1, O'Connell 2. Okay, so we get stuck with O'Connell because we kicked Jim Harbaugh to the curb. We don't need him. Thanks, Ann. Let me ask you something here. To all the people that make excuses for this guy, his offense has not changed at all. I'll say a little.
No, and to add to that, Bill,
but Bill, just add developing plays.
He lied to us. Tony and Bill, he lied to us.
You're right.
He said in a press conference, I recall at the end of the year, go look it up after the Rams game, when they got their asses handed to them, when they asked Sam Darnold to drop back 50-some times.
Thank you.
And got sacked like 10 times because your offensive line stinks.
He said after the game, I should have ran more slants.
Yeah. Yes, he said that, and he said we've got to be a more physical football team. I got to be able to run the ball more.
Thank
Really,
you.
Kevin O'Connell? So what do
Thank
you
you.
do this year with Jordan Mason,
He should be
a healthy Aaron Jones Sr. to start the year,
And a rookie quarterback.
and a rookie
Thank you.
quarterback,
Oh my God!
and
I'm
you
gonna have a
still
migraine.
throw the ball 60-some-odd% of the time?
Okay, can I ask this?
You are a lying sack of
Okay,
what?
can I ask Ted? Did you have the same feeling on all the rest of the Viking coaches starting? I won't go with Bud. But did you start that? Did you have those same type of questions with Denny Green, Mike Tice, Leslie Frazier, Brad Childers, Secret Scroll? I mean, were those same type of questions? Did you defend those guys as hard as you defended this guy? Because listen, for what he did to Prince Harry, he should be fired. For what he's done to this organization, he should be fired, along with the GM and Grigson, along with everybody. That this franchise, oh my God,
Settles for mediocrity. It settles for mediocrity.
and he hasn't changed. The only thing he's done is ran a little more, but then he's still screwing that up.
Well, no, the thing is once
So
you don't get it.
Listen, let me just say this. Like you guys have said, you guys said it perfectly. A rookie quarterback, and yes, he's a rookie. He didn't take a snap last year, didn't take a rep after he got hurt against the Raiders. You're having to run an offense that veterans run, and it takes them. Look how long it took Minivan to get comfortable in that offense.
He even said so. He said that on the quarterback show.
So you don't think that should be questioned? If I'm the owner, if I'm owning that team after this year, bye-bye. See ya.
Listen, it's also
You know what they're blinded by? They're blinded by 13-4 and 14-3.
Thank you. No, you're 100% right.
That's it, Tony. But you know what? The bottom line is this. Any coach that said what he said is a fireable offense. He said that the first year running the team that he said, lay off my team right now. You're too physical. He did that.
Yeah.
He did that to Shanahan.
In a scrimmage against San Francisco.
Yep.
You don't do that. First of all, if the team is physical, you up the physicality on your part.
You can't do that.
That's on record. That's not us saying it.
You know what?
That's not us saying it. It came out of his mouth. It came out of
it goes against the good
mouth.
morning.
I would say, you know what that is? I would call that a certain word. I'm not going to say it on here.
Oh, don't do it. I know.
But you know what?
TV, don't you think that goes along with the culture they want out there, with the good afternoon, good morning, good night culture?
They want a nice guy. He's a nice guy. What does that get you in victories?
Nothing.
Put it this way. You know what? I could never be out of TCO because, first of all, the first person that says good morning to me, I'm probably telling them to go F themselves. And the second thing I'm saying is, you know what? Screw this nicey nice. You need somebody to get in your asses.
Mark Balk, we agree with you. If Harbaugh was our coach, I think J.J. McCarthy would be doing a lot better. Trust me.
Even here's the thing, Mark. Also, with vanilla play calls, if the vanilla play calls work, it's a different story. But these don't work.
But did you hear what Jim Harbaugh said about J.J. McCarthy? He said that J.J. McCarthy adapted his style. A lot of people don't know this, but in high school, J.J. McCarthy was a 5-star recruit who had the throwing records, touchdown records, okay? And he went to Michigan because Ohio State spurned him, okay? Because he wanted Ohio State is where J.J. wanted to go. They spurned him, and he said, hey, you know what? I will make it a point to beat Ohio State every time I play him. And what did J.J. McCarthy do? He did exactly that. And J.J. McCarthy adapted his style to the way Jim Harbaugh wanted him to play, which was being more of a run offense, play action, protect the ball. Yeah. What Kevin O'Connell is asking J.J. McCarthy to do is completely against the style of play that he had at Michigan, okay, which is creating the run. Now, that could be a good thing in the sense that Kevin O'Connell trusts J.J. McCarthy. But when you notice that he's struggling, just like Carson Wentz was struggling. Carson Wentz was struggling with this offense. Granted, he was hurt. He was hurt in that Cleveland game. That's where we know he got hurt. Yep. But he was struggling. This offense sometimes you got to take back the so-called brainiac thing that you have in your plays, Tony.
But that's the problem. See, nobody here, and Bill can attest to this, nobody here in the local media has held KOC's feet to the fire and asked him, why don't you scale back the plays? Yeah, when your coach gets up there in the presser and he literally says, you have to learn my playbook in order to play quarterback for me, you got an issue. You got a problem.
Major issue, because that shows you're not able to adapt to the talent that's coming your way.
What did coach's words help me again and the listeners? What did the coach say about when you have a young quarterback, who fails who.
That's right.
That's right.
Organizations fail the young quarterback.
Organizations fail the quarterback.
Fails the organization. He's now guilty of that big time.
I mean, listen, I'm going to say this. J.J. McCarthy's playing bad, 100%. But listen, I mean, maybe I'm sounding hypocritical here, and I was an idiot, 100%. But I think everybody should have seen this. Maybe not bad to this extent, though. I think we all kind of thought, at least I did, that he would do the right thing with a rookie quarterback and do the right way.
That's what we were hoping for, Bill.
We were hoping when they got Mason, when they upgraded the offensive line, we thought, okay,
we now know
maybe he's gonna be more physical and run the ball, but no, he can't help himself.
Tony, rookie quarterback, who's the safety valve? Or who's the best friend for a rookie quarterback?
Tight end.
Yes.
Or running back. Running back too.
Or running back in the flat.
Yeah. Where's that in this offense?
I don't see any slants. What is he like slants? I don't understand. I don't understand why he doesn't like slants. And here's the other aspect. If you're so keen with your offensive line being improved, which it's not because he has no trust in Brian O'Neill anymore, apparently, that you're holding TJ Hawkinson to chip, which TJ's already lost speed. He can't get to where he's supposed to be. So what are you doing? That's what put Ben Sims in there to chip. TJ is a glorified wide receiver. You got Josh Oliver, who's one of the better blocking tight ends. That's what we were told. That's who you chip with. Where's TJ on these routes? In the middle of the field. It's almost as if he's coaching to fail JJ McCarthy. Like, this is a message that he's sending to somebody to make sure, because he's stubborn. I can see Kevin O'Connell being the stubborn.
Oh, he's stubborn.
If he didn't want JJ McCarthy, he's going to make sure everyone sees this so that they're responsible for telling him who his quarterback has to be. I don't believe it.
Well, can I say this? If he wanted Drake May so much, they knew he was coming out. They knew where he was going to land in the draft. I'm going to say it. I don't care. Then you know what? In 2023, your winning streak with Josh Dobbs, and then how you screwed him around, I think winning 2 to 3 extra games didn't help you out with that. There is no way New England was going to trade with you no matter what you offer.
No,
you tried.
But you know what? I'm going to put the question out there, and I will say this until somebody answers it.
Tony. Would not be as good. No.
Would
Drake
May be the same Drake May?
No.
With KOC?
Josh McDaniels is a better play caller.
Thank you.
By far than Kevin O'Connell. He's proved it. He's got Super Bowl rings to show it. And what does Josh McDaniels do with his talent? He fits a system to his talent, unlike telling his talent to fit my system. It's amazing.
And he also has a real head coach in Mike Vrabel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get inside the numbers, and then Bill's Bites is coming up, and then we'll do our predictions and say final thoughts. This is the largest point spread, gentlemen, that the Vikings have faced since January 2nd of 2022. Bill Dunkel, do you remember who they played on that day? I asked Tony. Tony already knows the answer. Do you know who they played January 2nd, 2022? I can give you a soundbite from it.
It's got to be, is it the Green Bay?
Green Bay. What did the Packers do? They won the division that night, correct?
Yeah, they beat the Vikes 41-17, didn't they?
They won. I think it was like 34
I don't know.
10 or something.
37-10.
Bill, it was 37-10.
Isn't that the game where Bradbury caught a pass?
It might be, yes. But that's also the game where Chris Collinsworth said, "This Sean Mannion, where have they been hiding him? He looks like a real quarterback to me." And
by the way, people, in case you're wondering who started PFF, it's our good buddy Chris Collinsworth who started PFF.
And that was actually a game where Kellen Mond came in and threw 3 passes, completed 2 of them. Although Mike Zimmer did not say thank you, good job after the game, apparently, and had no desire to see Kellen Mond. That's one of the funniest sound bites, I think, of all time. When the reporter asked Mike Zimmer, well, how come we're not seeing Kellen Mond? I mean, don't you think he should be in there? Don't you want to take a look at him? And Mike Zimmer goes, I see him every day. I see enough of him. That was a shot.
I see him
That
every
was
day
a
in
shot
practice.
across the bow. That was Mike Zimmer didn't hold back. I wish we had a little of Mike Zimmer. See, we could perfect the perfect coach. You put a little Mike Zimmer with his run, pass, defense, and then KOC with his passing. You kind of mesh those two guys together. Maybe you come up with a better coach.
And here's the thing. Next year, because the way we've talked about this before too. Bozo Zimmer was the odd year coach.
Yeah,
made the playoffs except for 2021, and this guy we have is the even year coach.
It's amazing. We just cannot get it right in Minnesota land.
Next year's even year again, and a weaker schedule.
Even year, weaker schedule. Yeah.
Vikings are 11.5-point underdogs going into the game tomorrow. The over and under is 41.5. Get this, though, and a lot of people are putting the money on the Vikings because of the point spread. 54% of the dollars are on the Vikings to cover the points. The Vikings are plus 610 on the money line. Seahawks are minus 714 on the money line. That's amazing money if you take the Vikings and win that bet. Fantasy studs, Jackson Smith Najigba, 21, Kenneth Walker, 13, Sam Darnold, 18, Seattle's defense, 15. I think Seattle's defense could have a field day fantasy-wise. For Minnesota, Jettas is the highest at 18. Matt Max is showing a paltry 10. Paltry 10. That's what we have for that. And now, Bill, more numbers from you on Bill's Bites.
Yeah, and this first one's going to go out to Dustin Baker on Twitter, and he's very good. He's a good follow. I'd recommend. I don't agree with all his things, but that's fine. I think he's good with his numbers. He's actually I think he's better than me sometimes with numbers. He's very good. This the third time the Vikings have started a UDFA at quarterback. The previous two times were also in Week 13. The previous two times the Vikings won. The previous two times were 1992 with Sean Salisbury beating the Rams. And then in 2001, Todd Bauman, St. Cloud State, I believe. Beating Tennessee.
Beating Tennessee.
So, that's kind of this weird. All Week 13. All these are going to be Week 13. And now the two previous times they won. Now the Vikings going to win tomorrow.
So maybe that gives you a little slight hope, Bill, right? A little, maybe. Maybe.
Seattle.
No.
Seattle's. Seattle's won the last 5 out of 6 in Seattle. Though the Vikings have won the last 2 in the series, including they won last year in Seattle to break that losing streak in Seattle. I think Darnold. And by the way, I'd recommend the article on ESPN by Kevin Seifert on Sam. It's what everybody talked about last year, what nobody wanted to listen to and believe. He said the noise in the background said he was gone. Okay? Why? Because they drafted a quarterback after trading up top 10, right? They're going with that guy, no matter what type. I even think, I'll be honest, if they even win the Super Bowl, he's gone because they were never going to pay him the money, period.
I don't know about that, Bill. I think actually if the Detroit game went differently, Ram game went differently, I don't know. I think
they asked him about, if you read between the lines in that article, I took it as even if they would have, I'll say this, if they beat Detroit, he plays well. I think the Washington would have come here, and let's say they beat us, and he plays me. I think it all came down to money because it all comes down to what everybody has said. If you listen to Wall Street, he always talked about rookie contract with a quarterback. He wanted that.
Here's the biggest thing.
I think they all signed off on that too, Bill.
Here's the biggest thing. No,
one that really wanted it.
Here's the biggest thing. No, Darnold wasn't supposed to succeed last year the way he did.
100%.
JJ McCarthy doesn't get hurt against
JJ McCarthy doesn't get hurt. Darnold's looking over his shoulder all year.
Yeah. JJ would have been the starting quarterback last
year. Right. 100%. That's a whole thing. And that's what I mean. Darnold, he got his payday. I'm not going to fault him there. He got his payday.
Darnold, I'm sending a nice thank you card with some money to JJ McCarthy because to be honest with you, without that injury, Sam Darnold's not as rich as he is, and he's not.
He's looking, like I said, Darnold. The first time he screws up, they're putting JJ in there. So, you know what? I give Darnold credit.
And also, what, Bill, the Seahawks lead? This will be the 21st time that these two teams have met. Tomorrow, it seems like every game is always in Seattle. I don't know what the hell that is, but it just seems that way.
You know what? It's that pre-formulated scheduling.
Yeah, so we're always in Seattle.
We're always in Seattle.
The all-time series 13-7, so we got some work to do in that. Seattle leads 13-7.
It just got bad. It just got really tilted towards the Hawks recently with Pete Carroll's crew.
Right. Yeah, and Russell Wilson killed us.
Tony will remember this because it happened on my 10th birthday, November 14th, 1976. And I remember watching this game. And I remember before that game, I thought, they'll kill the Seahawks in expansion team.
No, that was the Kingdom game, right?
No, that was they were in the stadium. Yeah, the Seahawks came up here.
Jim Zorn's going up and down the field.
That's why you never know in the NFL. That's why they play these games. So maybe you never know. Mad Max. You know what? I'll say this for Max Brosmer. Tomorrow's a huge game for him because if he goes in there and plays well, even if they lose, if Max plays really well, he could set himself up for an opportunity somewhere else too. If it's not here, could still be here. I mean, obviously, if you read social media, everyone wants to hang J.J. McCarthy in effigy, but it could be that, Max could set himself up big for something for another team if he plays well. We've got a lot of quarterbacks like that have gone elsewhere, Rich Gannon, Brad Johnson, and done very well for themselves. Bill, go ahead.
Can I ask you guys something? What if he does play well? What if he does play well and they win?
That will be an interesting next week. It would make for a fascinating next week.
If he wins tomorrow, my God.
He's got to stay in. Well. I'll tell you why. Jettas and Addison will have something to do with it. And if that kid throws the deep ball nicely.
You know what, though? That's not going to be fair to McCarthy because there's other reasons I'm going to say this, but those guys are two different people. And they're not the same, obviously. They think different, all that stuff, to have different abilities.
Sure.
We might just have a day tomorrow where McCarthy didn't have that full day. All I'm saying is I hope people, if he wins tomorrow, you know what's going to happen. And if he plays well, say, get rid of McCarthy. Max is our guy.
Of course.
You know that's going to.
Of course.
But here's the thing, though, too, and this is what I tell people. J.J. McCarthy came in here playing a completely different offense than what he faced in Michigan. Brosmer came in here, and this Viking offense is similar to what the Gophers ran.
So he's had more experience running.
He's had more experience with it, and he's more of a traditional drop-back quarterback. He's basically Nick Mullins, a rookie Nick Mullins.
So you know what? Let him sling the ball around. I mean, honestly, in my estimation, it would be criminal if the Vikings didn't put JJ back there when he's healthy because we have to get the kinks out. He's got to show us something somewhere that we're okay for next year and that he's going to be the guy next year, no matter what happens. So, but I do think, Bill, they will sign a veteran quarterback.
I'll be honest. I'm more of a Boise State fan than a Gopher fan, but I do watch the Gophers. I'll say this. I was never that much impressed with Max. I mean, I hear for a PJ Fleck Gopher team, yeah, he's the best they had. Now, the guy they have now, I think, could be better than Drake Lindsay, might be better than Max. But I'll give Max credit. 100%. I never thought if you would have asked me like that, there's no chance, but eat my words, he's done well.
And he looked really good in preseason. I know preseason's vanilla.
He's calm. I'll say that about him. It seems like he has a calm demeanor. But can I ask TB? He's 24. He's 2 years older than McCarthy. That's big, isn't it?
Maturity-wise, it is.
Maturity-wise?
Yeah.
Because technically, you know what? McCarthy was drafted at 21.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Youngest quarterback by
2
weeks, right? Drake May's also.
Yeah, he's about a few months.
Yeah, May is young too.
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing is though, I remember them too in college. I was not impressed with Drake May at all.
No,
I remember you weren't impressed with Drake.
Drake May played the Gophers and barely beat the Gophers.
Yep, I remember. I watched that game. I remember.
Yeah,
Drake May from somebody. Let's go, Pats. I'm wondering who that possibly could be.
I'll be watching on Monday night.
Running the ship. Yeah,
it's coming from inside the house.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Let's go to the big three. for tomorrow. And then we'll do our predictions and our final thoughts. I mean, you got to protect Max the best you can. God, give him a chance to at least not get jittery or hurt. We're hoping that the offensive line can somewhat play strong. You got to get Jordan Addison going, guys. He's been non-existent. Has he having a catch at all in the month of November? It really doesn't seem like he's caught anything since JJ. And that was the guy that I thought JJ had the best chemistry. So it goes to show you how wrong you can be. But
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you right now. KOC's in his ear telling him to get the ball to Justin.
And that's
because he's forced.
Who's open?
JJ has forced a lot of passes to Justin Jefferson.
He has. You are right about that. When we've seen him, and usually it ends up in a bad way with the other team. And I also think you got to stop the Sam Darnold to JSN on deep balls, which will be quite interesting with the secondary that we have left. I guess Isaiah Rodgers is going to get the Jackson Smith.
Can you imagine Harrison Smith trying to?
Oh my God! Could you imagine if they put Josh Metellus on Jack? The Seahawks.
And Metellus is hurt.
Their chops.
And Metellus is hurt.
Metellus is hurt.
Oh, he's happy. He's like, God, I don't got to go there and see that young receiving crew of the Seahawks. But they're going to be throwing, and Sam Darnold was going to want to throw the ball, and I think Sam Darnold has one of the best deep pass rates. There you see his statistics: 2,785 yards, 19.
Oh, he's doing 10 interceptions, huh?
Yeah. Actually, do you know Seattle is second in the NFL in turnovers with 20?
Yeah, can I say, have you guys watched Sam this year a little bit?
I saw him play against. I saw him play
bad.
against the Rams, and I was not impressed.
Yeah,
he looked like the old Sam
issues.
Darnold.
He's got the same issues.
Yeah, it's not. He's not. I mean, he is who he is.
Yeah, that's right, 100%.
And here's the aspect of it. You know who holds the number one spot in turnovers, correct?
JJ.
Minnesota. The Vikings.
Yeah, Minnesota. We're minus 13.
This could be their turnover bowl. Although, ironically, the weather tomorrow in Seattle, as I become your weatherman here, 45 degrees, partly sunny, slight wind, no precipitation. So no precipitation means pretty good. And there's the daunting facts in which they face tomorrow. Seattle ranks 7th in total offense, 364 yards a game, and 4th in total defense, 248 yards given up. That's really absolutely impressive, 248 total. And they shut down Matthew Stafford after those first 2 touchdowns the Rams had. They shut down Matthew Stafford something fierce.
Well, their front line, they got Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy. The other Byron Murphy is really good.
Yeah,
and then
Byron Murphy.
Do they still have that gopher?
They got Boy Mafi. They got Mafi.
Yeah, he's very good.
Mafi is still there.
Yeah. DeMarcus Lawrence. They have DeMarcus Lawrence giving them something. So that line is.
So, gentlemen, it now comes to the time where we put our expertise, and it's been bad this year, to the line. We need to blitz Darnold. They will, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
This is a bad stat, though, Mark. This is another one. Thank you for reminding me, Mark. Obviously, we have the highest blitzing defensive coordinator in the NFL in Brian Flores. Sam Darnold, who showed struggles last year, is the number 1 rated quarterback in the National Football League when facing the blitz this year. So, hopefully he goes back to the last year's Sam Darnold. But this year, he's been killing it, especially on deep balls to Jackson and to his fine wide receiving crew.
You know who I think is a huge tomorrow for them to have any chance? There's Hargrave and Allen. Because
they're gonna have to get some sacks. They got to get some turnovers.
Yeah, they got to pressure. Darnold is not good with that interior pressure up the gut, mostly with the D tackles. If you get that, you have a chance. But if you don't, then you have to keep on blitzing.
One you got to look for is who's probably going to have a big day tomorrow is Redmond.
Yeah.
There you go. I like one. Yeah,
and Seattle's a team. You know what? This is number 1 as far as the game. If they have any chance, Tony and Bill, to win tomorrow, they got to stop the run. Seattle runs the ball the second most in the NFL. They pass the ball 31st. They are reversed to what the Vikings are. They run the ball. They run it a lot. Kenneth Walker, you're going to see a lot of. Was it Charbonnet?
Charbonnet,
you're going to see him get some opportunities.
Yep.
And once again, it's an offensive coordinator who won't expose his quarterback. Even
That's
a
for Clint
veteran.
Kubiak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say hi to all the former Vikings coaches: Dennison,
Yep.
Kubiak, Leslie Frazier.
And they got the former Vikings tight end coach on their staff.
Yeah. So who's their running coordinator now? I think Rick Dennison, right? Is it Rick Dennison?
Well, the Andrew Jocko, I can't remember his last
Well, they got
name.
another guy.
Andrew Jacobo,
Jacobo,
or something like that.
Tell you what, we'll see how things go tomorrow. From our page, Kim Miner Villarreal, the only one positively saying, quote, I feel like we'll get the win, a walk-off field goal by maybe our best player.
Wow, he's their best.
That would be wonderful.
Once
Kim.
again, when you have a team of 53 players and your best player is your kicker.
Will Reichard. Ryan Wright's in the top 5, by the way, too. He's had a wonderful year. The kicking game. That the only part of the special teams that are good are actually the guys that kick it. Everything else about our special
Really
teams
not the coach.
in the trash. Yeah, he's the one guy that should be fired at the end of the year. Mark Balk, who, of course, has been adding to the show. Thank you for watching, Mark, as well. The way things are going, we'll probably get blown out. Yeah, that's pretty much what I think. I think Sam Darnold will have over 300 yards passing. He'll have at least 3 touchdown passes. I think Max will do okay in the beginning. Yes, we do need to blitz Darnold.
Well,
I agree with you, Mark Balk.
If they don't get a running game going, the Vikings
It's just not going to matter. It's just not going to matter. It's not going to matter if Jones Sr. and Mason are not running the ball effectively. We're in trouble anyways, no matter what happens.
And
but
by the way, I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page that we're not going to win this game.
Yeah, I got the Seahawks 37-17. Tony Bell, your final thoughts and score for tomorrow, and then go and you do, Bill.
Okay, final score. Seahawks 34, Vikings 15.
Ooh.
And I'm going to say this. If this team loses big tomorrow, this Viking team, all hell's going to break loose in that locker room, and you're going to see some finger pointing. You're going to hear about it. It's going to be total anarchy. And if that happens, I don't know how you keep KLC.
Wow.
I think it's well. I agree with you. I do think
I think we all agree that KOC should be fired, and maybe Kwesi and the whole kit and caboodle.
You're gonna you know what?
Take Andrew Miller with you out the door. By the way,
That's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fantasy guy, whatever. Your numbers don't add up, especially with this football team. Bill, your final thoughts and predictions for tomorrow?
38-10 Seattle.
Ooh,
it's just worse. Too much for the kid. You're without Jackson. You might be without Darisaw. If you don't get a running game going, it's lost cause. It's just too. Things can happen. Obviously they could win tomorrow easily. I just think it's. Alec Lewis, who writes for The Athletic, and it's funny because everybody ripped Diana Rossini in the offseason for her stuff on Rodgers. She ended up being right. Okay, she was right. I don't care what anybody says. She was 100% right. Alec Lewis has written and has said on his podcast there was tension from last year to this year. He said it was night and day. He said they didn't have the same feeling like this year, and that reminded me of 2009 and 2010. So yeah, Tony's right. If let's say they get blown out tomorrow, I think it's going to keep on simmering more and more and more. And listen, if they end up with 2 more wins the rest of the year, let's just say that.
Washington, New York? Is that what you're thinking, maybe?
No, I don't think they beat them. Oh boy, I don't know who they would beat. Washington.
I don't know. James Winston will be licking his chops against our secondary.
If Jaden Daniels plays, because Terry McLaurin is back, if Jaden Daniels plays next week, which there is a chance,
be favored. Yeah.
Good luck. But let's just say they win 2 more. Somebody's job has to be on the line. They had to make a change for sake of making a change.
I heard everyone. Grigson, guys. I heard Grigson.
I heard Grigson too. I think it would be
a minor move. That's a minor move. Probably Matt Daniels.
You can't trade 53 players.
No. So
something, a coach, a GM, something's got to go.
Yeah.
Or a staff. You know what I think honestly is going to happen? Staff. Flores will be gone on his own. I think that's already been decided. I think a special teams coach. You know something. I'm going to say this. And I like this guy, but I just wonder if there's just something not right. And I like him, by the way, because I think he'd be a great offensive coordinator. But I just wonder if Keenan McCardle has just – he liked Felton. He's the one that wanted to draft Felton. He scouted him personally and wanted him. And the guy that's with the Seahawks, Tony Orton, that's the guy who he should have drafted. And I don't understand. He wanted Felton. And good. Now, Felton might turn out to be something, but that's a third-round pick.
Felton can't get on the field because of Naylor.
Yeah. I mean, it's a deep wide receiving. It's a deep wide receiving. That's the one area where the Vikings.
Only time I've noticed Felton is on special teams and him making tackles.
Or not making tackles.
That's the only time I've noticed Felton.
You got to have more from your third-round pick.
Well, yeah, no question. I mean, the Vikings, that's the biggest question, I think, Tony and Bill, moving forward, is Kwesi's drafting. And
oh, God.
It's been so bad. I mean, you just can't. You can't survive. This is a case where now his free agents last year were really good. His free agents this year, basically horrible, except for Eric Wilson. Let's face it, not good enough. And this is going to be a situation in which he's going to have to pay the piper. Someone's going to have to pay the piper for the pay.
Can I ask something honestly? Tony's been a fan. We're the same age, but he's been a fan a couple years longer than me. Eric has been a fan since what,
77, 78.
I
started out as a Cowboys fan, in all honesty.
And maybe this is all fan bases, but honestly, why is the Minnesota Viking fan base so thin-skinned that cannot hear criticism on their team?
I don't understand.
Because we were brought up with Sid Hartman, who never criticized a home team, and it's carried on.
Right. Yeah, but
by the way, can I say this? I used to be the biggest homer, bleed purple, everything's purple, and I still am, but in a different way, where it was the purple-colored glasses. I think at least I thought of it this way. I matured, grew up, I understood things better, and I said, okay, I was wrong, blah, blah, blah. There's still people older than me that still have it on, and I'm going, what in the world?
And you know what the funny part about that is? You bring up any of the negative thing any of them said about Denny Green, and they think you're lying.
That's right. They don't want to hear about
They don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And that's when I open my eyes, when we hired Denny Green, and then
I loved it. I was so happy.
And then for Sid Hartman to do what he did.
Yeah. Mark Balk let Felton punt return, or why not? I don't understand. This is the type of time
I
now
agree with him, by the way.
Felton should play. The season's already. Let's see what Felton can do. Now you start.
There you go, Eric. Why isn't he now? If you're you lose tomorrow and you're full, give him some reps out there.
Some of these young guys reps.
What are we doing here?
When Scott comes back, I don't know if let Xavier run the ball more. I don't. We got to see what's next, because there's a lot of guys on this team. Aaron Jones Sr., T.J. Hawkinson, Jonathan Allen, that will not be back next year.
You missed one. You know why Felton can't get on the field? It's not Naylor. It's the guy that we traded for from Carolina. We got him. He's the savior, isn't he? Can I say something? Thor Nystrom.
Thank you for your service. Please retire.
Hey, by the way, Thor Nystrom, who I like.
Together.
A lot of people don't like Thor Nystrom now because of his take on McCarthy. I still like him. And you know what he said? And he said, honestly, I love Adam. He needs the Vikings. You know what he honestly said? He says it's not going to happen, but the Vikings need to cut him.
Yeah, well, it's not going to happen.
It's that bad. He is that bad right now.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
He's unplayable.
No, it's
and he knows TB. You know football. You played this game. You watching this. You can see. I mean,
it's
can't
painful.
Get open.
It's painful to watch.
Yeah. So we will be back tomorrow night.
I'm wound up now.
Probably after the Sunday night game, where Bill will have more energy like this. This is incredible. We will wrap up.
I didn't have energy earlier. I had a bad.
We will. No, when I talked to you on the phone, I was like, well, I don't know. Maybe Bill will show up. We will have that energy, win, lose, or draw tomorrow night, and whether the Vikings will be sleepless in Seattle or whether Max Brosmer will be the new hero of Minnesota, and we'll have more hatreds toward J.J. McCarthy next week. That's what it comes down to. Just a final thought, I mean, this season's done. Let's look at the Vegas. I mean, you want to be brave, put your money on this team making the playoffs. You have I think it's a 1.5 chance. Still a chance, but it's a 1.5. It's
a better chance of winning the lottery.
Yeah, exactly. You do actually probably have a better chance of winning the lottery right now. The Vikings are a mess. As we just discussed, it's time to see what the young players can do.
Yep.
Crying out loud, let Walter Rouse play. Okay, let him out. Let him play.
Why isn't he playing tomorrow?
Now watch, he'll be inactive tomorrow.
It's a
But
great
Justin
question.
Sproul will be out there.
Okay,
Great question.
if Darisaw doesn't play tomorrow, why wouldn't you play Walter Rouse?
Why not just rest Darisaw? I mean, what are we doing? Is he on a
I
pitch
agree
count?
with that too.
Is he on a pitch count? Andrew Miller calling down. He can play 50. He can play 50, maybe. No,
Andrew Miller.
35
Hey,
plays.
by the way, all Viking fans, if you don't know who Andrew Miller is, they got him from the Toronto Blue Jays. That's Andrew Miller. He came from baseball.
He's not the long reliever, the great lefty long reliever.
Yeah, he's not that
same
long.
name. Not that guy. Not that guy. Not that guy. But just to sum it up, this season's already lost. Let's see some young guys go out there. I'm actually excited to see what Max can do. Why not?
Oh, yeah, I am too.
You're rooting for him. I root for every quarterback that takes center. I root for every player that wears that uniform. That's what they do. And as Tony will tell you, none of these players want to lose. Whether we want them to lose for draft pick purposes and all that, these players are out there because a lot of these players are playing for their jobs next year. So don't expect the Vikings to lay down. There'll be players playing hard. It's just that they're going up against a team that is better coached.
Well, yeah,
they
and
are.
the problem is
That's better run than they are from the organization top to bottom. And we'll probably end up being at least 3 or 4 touchdown victory tomorrow for
honestly,
the team that's trying to win the NFC West.
If you look at their schedule, there's not a lot of wins on there. If you just look at it on paper, people.
No. Who would have thought that this is possible? For Bill Dunkel, Super Bowl, Tony Bell.
Oh my God!
I had him winning 10 games, going to the second round of the playoffs. This is a major disaster for the Minnesota Vikings. This is
here's the thing, though. We unfortunately put more faith in the head coach.
Yeah.
That's what the problem
is.
Hey,
can I say something to everybody? Of the three of us, there's one that was never a big on the hire. There was one that questioned a hire, and one that really thought he was. Maybe these are too strong of words. Maybe not going to succeed, and that would be Tony. Are those too strong of words?
No, those are exactly because I looked at him and I told.
I just got mad at Bill once because he had said he.
Well, that's the.
I misinterpreted what Bill meant. He said, "Doesn't he look like Bud Grant?" And I said, "How dare you? How dare you compare Kevin O'Connell with Bud Grant?"
You know what? They've already got him in the Mount Rushmore. Greats.
Bill was mentioning look-wise because he has that same kind of.
I
was like, oh,
let me ask you this.
Okay, all right.
TV, you know who this guy is? There's a guy this year did the same thing I did back in 2022 with the facial features.
Yeah.
Good old Andy from Purple. What's that? Purple PF podcast.
Oh, don't even get me started on that clown.
Did he do the same thing?
He did the same thing.
Hey, what does he always say? Venmo, production, whatever. How about Venmo us on this production right here? Okay? This is great production right here. We have sound, we have pictures. Venmo us.
You know,
right?
I don't want people to think that all three of us love the Vikings, but in my opinion, if to be a true Viking fan, or a true fan of any team that you love, you have to praise and criticize. You just can't be blinded with just praise.
Yeah, I grew up in the Northeast. Okay, I grew up in New York, basically in between New York and Boston media. And if you think this stuff would fly in either one of those two cities,
it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't.
Got another thing coming. You got another thing coming, boy. I tell you what, those places, they hold everyone accountable. Probably too much so. It scares certain people away. But you know what? Our fandom, our hearts are with this team and franchise. We're going to see it through.
How would the head coach go in New York and Philadelphia and even in New England and all out east? How would he handle that?
With the way he handled the quarterback position, he'd have been out of a job.
There's no way he can go to the
he would have been out of a job.
the media would
He
have
won't
went after
survive
him.
in those markets. Kevin O'Connell's a nice guy attitude.
He would have been out of a job. They would have crucified him the first time it happened. The first time he said he told the opposing team to take it easy in the joint practice.
That would have been a whole show on WEEI, by the way. They would have done a whole show.
Okay, you know what? On that, can I just say,
With Ted Johnson ripping him, okay?
But you know, why didn't ownership jump in or jump at the people above him and say, "Ho, ho, ho! What are you doing?"
Because they're just as soft as him.
He can't be soft in the NFL.
Bill, you really think you really think Ann is going to question him?
All right. On that note,
did you say? Hey, wait a minute. We better say goodnight because that's the Viking way.
Not on this show, we don't. Maybe to you, the watchers, but to us, no. There's none of that nice stuff here going on this show. For Bill Dunkel, for Tony Bell, for Quality Control, she does the most amazing job with the sound and the pictures. We bid you what, gentlemen?
Skol.
Skol. Talk to you tomorrow.
Collaboration.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back after the game tomorrow for our post-game wrap-up show. Remember, share our page with your friends and hit that like and subscribe button for our YouTube channel. Skol!